Let us pray. Almighty God, without you, we are not able to please you. May the deliberation of this Parliament now in session be guided by the Holy Spirit. Grant all members of this legislature your divine wisdom, that all policies, decisions and laws considered in this Parliament may be acceptable in your sight and for the welfare of our people and country. We ask this in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Parliament is resumed.
Motion number 2, motion of Sine-Die.
Honourable members, debate on the motion that Parliament stand adjourned Sine-Die continues today. Members are again reminded to adhere to the rules of debate and also to be mindful of others who wish to contribute as well. And I therefore encourage members to please make good use of this day so that we do not rush our proceedings on the final day, on Monday next week. I understand the floor is now open. I recognize the Minister of Finance wish to make an intervention at this early stage. Honourable Minister.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the floor of Parliament to contribute to the motion of Sine-Die moved by the Prime Minister that at the adjournment of Parliament on Monday, 17th June 2024, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall then stand adjourned Sine-Die. So the Prime Minister raised a number of important issues for the House to reflect on, and in addition to other matters that members may want to raise, and I wish to comment on two of the matters raised. Reference was made to the fiscal position of the government, and of course commented on by the leader of the opposition, and so I will take the opportunity. Much of my presentation today will feature the economic and fiscal position of the country, Mr. Speaker, and so I'll do that. But the review of the constituency boundaries is raised, and that matter has been around for more than a decade, so as is rightly observed by the Prime Minister, after Parliament actually rejected the last recommendation made to it by the Commission, sir. At the time, pressing demands for additional constituencies at the time by many members of Parliament for only a limited number of new constituencies on offer at that point in time, rendered the recommendations unacceptable to Parliament at the time, Mr. Speaker. There was disagreement, serious disagreement all around the House at that time, and the recommendation was eventually rejected. And as you know, Mr. Speaker, with the amendment to Section 54 of the Constitution, we can go up to having 70 members of Parliament. So there is room for the Commission to revisit this matter, Mr. Speaker, and to fully utilize, Mr. Speaker, the maximum number provided under Section 54 instead of just 5 that was recommended to Parliament at that time, Mr. Speaker. So the negative response by Parliament raised a number of important issues which this House need to be aware of if this matter is to be revisited with the aim of achieving a positive outcome. Mr. Speaker, we may need to review the constitutional provisions, and I believe it's Section 54 of the Constitution that outline the processes to be followed by the Boundaries Commission to determine where the boundaries are to be drawn, Mr. Speaker. For example, so the wisdom of not allowing Parliament to engage in meaningful discussions with the Commission to arrive at a recommendation that Parliament will eventually agree to, instead of a blunt approve or reject power, as is currently the case, Mr. Speaker. So that's one issue, sir. The other important consideration on this matter, Mr. Speaker, in this matter is the reserved seats for women, Mr. Speaker, which I understand, well, the Cabinet has actually considered a paper by the Minister of Provincial Government, which, and this matter which will be first introduced at the provincial government level in the 2027-2028 joint general elections. We will see a Saka woman by become provincial members now, Mr. Speaker. And if proven to be successful, to elevate the policy 4 years later at the national park, Mr. Speaker. That's the order in which these things might happen, Mr. Speaker. But the question, sir, to be settled here, Mr. Speaker, is whether the intended reserve seats for women are additional to the 70 seats allowed under the Constitution, which means that we may need to amend the Constitution, sir. The other matter, Mr. Speaker, that the important consideration is the need to be consistent, Mr. Speaker, with the intentions of the proposed federal constitution, sir, which in fact maintains the existing number of constituencies at the federal level, but expand the number of politicians at the state government level, and of course, and the yet to be defined community governance level, Mr. Speaker. There's another layer of government down at the community level, which how it look like, Mr. Speaker. So I believe this is more realistic and advisable if we flag in the consideration, Mr. Speaker, for national unity and security, Mr. Speaker. And I'm saying that because the strict compliance with the provisions outlined in Section 54(3) of the Constitution will naturally lend itself to the outcome that would favor provinces with big populations, Mr. Speaker. Now, this outcome is possible, Mr. Speaker, even with the consideration provided in the proviso to that section, Mr. Speaker. My point here, Mr. Speaker, is we must be sensitive to these realities when considering the increasing number of constituencies, sir. So the Prime Minister raised the processes outlined in the amendment to Section 61 of the Constitution to establish the Constituent Assembly for the purpose of reviewing the federal Constitution. So that matter is a direct response, and I need to make it very clear here, making people hear it. It's a direct response to the call by the Guadalcanal and Western Provinces premiers, Mr. Speaker. That call was purported to be on behalf of the people of Guadalcanal and the people of Western Province, Mr. Speaker. And I guess the big question here, Mr. Speaker, in this matter is, after observing the outcome of the general election, is that really the case, Mr. Speaker? Is that really the case? And it is important, Mr. Speaker, before we proceed further with this policy, that we establish whether that seriousness is still there, Mr. Speaker. We need to establish that fact. And I'm saying that because as I said earlier on, the outcome of the recent general elections do not show that seriousness by the people of the two provinces. No, Mr. Speaker. Which enforces the other side of the argument, Mr. Speaker, that this whole thing is probably the design of very few elites we use the name of the people to advance this matter, Mr. Speaker. This is a costly exercise, Mr. Speaker, but it's important that we take our time to carefully look at the various options available to us that would achieve the same outcome. But most importantly, Mr. Speaker, to revisit the views of the people and on whose names we are doing all of this, Mr. Speaker. Sir, of course, as I said, I only touch into the two matters, and that is raised by the very important matters that are raised by the Prime Minister. Of course, fresh in the minds of every member of this Honourable House is the National General Election, Mr. Speaker, which, among other issues of concerns, demonstrates how vulnerable we are, Mr. Speaker, to the mercy of people who are determined to manipulate the system, Mr. Speaker. And I will be commenting on the ongoing reform on this matter a little later, Mr. Speaker. But having said that, sir, it is really pleasing to see that the post and pre-election events are now settling down, and as a country, we are getting on with our lives, or so it appears to be, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I'm throwing in a little caveat here, Mr. Speaker, because we must not be fooled, Mr. Speaker, by the lull, and must be ever alert, Mr. Speaker, as a country, to the complicated political and geopolitical environment we are traversing, Mr. Speaker. Let us not forget, sir, that we just came through a very tumultuous general elections. Yes, generally incident-free, Mr. Speaker, but it left behind a lot of disappointed people, Mr. Speaker. A lot of disappointed people in the persons of contestants and powerful countries who have direct vested interests in this election, but did not get the outcome they wanted, Mr. Speaker. So the 12th House itself is also not free from these concerns, Mr. Speaker. And we hear incidences of, and this happens in my constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm very surprised to now. We hear incidences of expressions of open disappointments by foreigners who were present during counting when the results of some winning candidates, and in this case myself, was announced. And you look at Mount swear. Ay, what no one didn't win come here? We know contest law place blocked. Constituency blow myself, people will win about to become, Mr. Speaker. So I've seen that. You observe that, Mr. Speaker. As the number of government members that lost their seats and the number of petitions against winning candidates is a testament to the dissatisfaction that exists, Mr. Speaker, and brewing, may I say, Mr. Speaker, and the successful campaign, against the sitting government by these forces, Mr. Speaker. And as a matter of fact, the 12 general elections was never, never like any other elections in the past, Mr. Speaker. Me bar film through that. Film started now on the ground. Heavy started now. But we just maintain him the same number we win him 2019, and no one we win him back now. So there's a clear evidence that people voting me would stop no. And in fact, if several people no stand up more, they have to me for lose wins now, Mr. Speaker. So as I said, it is not like any elections in the past. It had an agenda for it, set for it by foreign interest, and they even went to the extent of dubbing it as a referendum on China, Mr. Speaker, before time in Igbo. Media carried that one, as if the country has committed a crime against humanity or something, and therefore those who were responsible for the decision must be voted out. Mr. Speaker. And that indeed was the battle cry going into the election. It was viewed, Mr. Speaker, by both the local and international media and the public as the first election after the country made that, what I consider as the most important decision after our existence as a nation for more than 45 years, Mr. Speaker, and that is the decision to correct the diplomatic blunder, Mr. Speaker, that didn't make him to recognize Taiwan after it was removed from the United Nations. Sir, I'm not ashamed to say we are proud as a nation to have made the decision, and I do not have to labor myself, Mr. Speaker, to demonstrate benefits of that decision, not only to Solomon Islands, Mr. Speaker, but to the Pacific region as well, sir. And I will leave that discussion for another day, Mr. Speaker. But the Western world, as you know, was obviously agitated by the decision and by giving the DCGA government hard time during our term in office. It is therefore fully justified to conclude, Mr. Speaker, that geopolitical interest was at play during the 12 general elections, and we cannot rule that out, Mr. Speaker. And you do not have to be a rocket scientist, Mr. Speaker, to see the development leading to the general elections, Mr. Speaker. So the focus now is on the 12th Parliament, Mr. Speaker. And you me are on both sides of the House. We have the duty to protect the 12th Parliament, Mr. Speaker. The government side, of course, and the government responsibility to earn that respect, Mr. Speaker, to earn it. Must not come naturally, Mr. Speaker. So, yes, and what a journey it has been, sir. It is also interesting to note that many members of Parliament on both sides of the 12th Parliament were on the opposing sides of this debate during the election, Mr. Speaker, expressing views and party positions that under normal circumstances would be irreconcilable, Mr. Speaker. I admire the group that sit down over there. I admire you, Mr. Leader of the Independent Group, Olim Group, and you are committed to the position that you take, Mr. Speaker. Yes, many opposing candidates are on both sides of this House now, which suggest a number of things, Mr. Speaker, which you must need to look good like, Mr. Speaker. First, Mr. Speaker, the overfluidity of our weak political party system, Mr. Speaker, and I think the Leader of Opposition were exhausting himself a lot of time in this last House, Mr. Speaker. Even though I time for amending the Constitution so that we even go in peace and come back with more certainty, Mr. Speaker. We did not do that. We got so many things to do, so we did not venture into amending the appropriate sections of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. Yes, which renders the political parties as mere groups of convenience this time, Mr. Speaker, using party policies and name only as tools to win elections. I'm no good here, Mr. Speaker. I'm no good, Mr. Speaker. And that's because we got a very weak party, a political party system in this country. The laws doesn't back, I'm not backing political parties. No, man. This is very serious, Mr. Speaker, because it has the potential of rendering the House dominated by people who may not be really committed to any policies and principles. We may have that, but it's a very, very dangerous position to be in, Mr. Speaker. And I'm raising that point because it is an important requirement for stable government, Mr. Speaker. Very important requirement for stable government. And this is an ingredient of political instability which we must now contain before we get out of hand, Mr. Speaker. We must do it together, both sides of the House. We need to do that, Mr. Speaker. This concern, Mr. Speaker, raised the importance of continuing with the reform of the Political Party Integrity Act to properly organize political parties to achieve, among other objectives, Mr. Speaker, and that is to instill discipline on members of political parties, Mr. Speaker. And in addition to reviewing the content of the schedules to the Act, Mr. Speaker, that is the PPIA, Parliament will need to pass, Mr. Speaker, a constitutional amendment to the second schedule of the Constitution to operationalize the schedules to the PPI, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether some of you are around here, and that the government defeat its own bill. Every opposition support him, or the government not support him, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether the Speaker was with us as well at the time, and when we supported the amendment, the government defeated its own bill. They don't have the number on the floor power. So there goes the thing, Mr. Speaker. But now you may run serious. You may run serious now, Mr. Speaker. I'm saying that, sir, a strong political party system that instills high level of discipline on its members and the spirit of nationalism, Mr. Speaker, an unwavering commitment to the development of the country is desperately needed now if we are to sail through the turbulent political environment ahead of us, Mr. Speaker. And I'm taking the time to highlight this issue, Mr. Speaker, because whether we like it or not, Mr. Speaker, small island states like Solomon Islands will have to face a new kind of challenge in our effort to develop our economies into the future, and that is the realities of dirty geopolitics, Mr. Speaker. More specifically, the efforts by Western liberal democracy to force small developing countries to adopt and support the agenda of Western liberal democracies, Mr. Speaker, and to adopt their values, Mr. Speaker. I have no problem with more the values, Mr. Speaker, but no forcing count on me for so. And it will probably become serious as we progress with this thing when they attach it. When they attach these values to their development assistance. When that time comes, Mr. Speaker, we really need to decide which side we are standing on, Mr. Speaker, as Solomon Islanders. So, there is so much at stake, Mr. Speaker. So we must be strategic in how we relate to this situation. We must now learn to know who our real friends are when it comes to genuine development, and I use that word deliberately, Mr. Speaker, genuine development. We must, going forward, insist on development programs that have no strings attached to them, Mr. Speaker. Developments that are not camouflaged under geopolitical interests, Mr. Speaker. Developments that are serious about converting the country's abundant resource strengths to exportable commodities to improve our economic standings, Mr. Speaker. Developments that are serious about helping us to gain economic independence, Mr. Speaker, to be able to help ourselves instead of driving down the path of aid dependency, Mr. Speaker. These, Mr. Speaker, are not new challenges. We have and will continue to face them as a country. We had a taste of it in 2021. The only difference now, Mr. Speaker, is it will increase in intensity as we progress, and so we must be smart going forward, Mr. Speaker. So allow me to just touch on the last part of my presentation for another 3 hours, or no more. And this is to update this Honourable House and the nation, Mr. Speaker, on the economic and the fiscal situation of the country. And I want to say at the outset, Mr. Speaker, that all is not gloomy. Cheer up, man. All is not gloomy, but on condition. If we put our heads together and put the country first, Mr. Speaker, before our narrow political agendas and interests. That one no condition. We are here to serve our people, Mr. Speaker. I'm saying this because some of the measures that Cabinet had approved will involve reviewing decisions made and carried in memorandum of understandings that may not be consistent with our tax laws, Mr. Speaker. I'm speaking as the former Commissioner of Inland Revenue, Mr. Speaker. And in these matters, Mr. Speaker, I will need the understanding and full cooperation of the industries and the sectors involved, Mr. Speaker. We are experiencing serious revenue leakages in areas that we can control. We can control. And that makes it very serious, Mr. Speaker. That is not being fair. Not fair to the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, because we are constantly under pressure to release payments when some agents of the government knowingly undermine our revenue collection capability, Mr. Speaker. That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me. And I will also need the understanding and full cooperation of the public in the era of discretionary tax exemptions, Mr. Speaker. And as I will touch on a little later in this presentation, Mr. Speaker, the revenue leakage in this area is staggering. The simple logic here is we want the government to repair roads, to buy medicines, to build more clinics, and the list goes on. When we take excellent. But we are not willing to allow the government, Mr. Speaker, to maximize its revenue collection capabilities. It does not make sense, Mr. Speaker. We have ourselves to blame. With that, Mr. Speaker, I would like to begin this update by presenting an economy that is struggling. Unless, Mr. Speaker, unless we immediately take steps to improve and encourage economic growth and restore the credibility of government finances, Mr. Speaker. The various sectors record varying performances, Mr. Speaker. Real GDP growth, Mr. Speaker, is projected to fall from 2.7% in 2023 to 2.5% in 2024. And thank God, an increase by 3.1% in 2020 if, Mr. Speaker, the current trends continue. And suppose with this 100 days program that we've got, and there's some serious steps that we want to take, we should see some growth, Mr. Speaker, 2025 or 2026 or 2027, Mr. Speaker. Compared with the projection in the October 2022, Mr. Speaker, budget, growth has been revised down by 0.5% for 2024, with no changes for 2025, Mr. Speaker. The slight fall in growth in 2024 reflects the slowdown in activities in the economy from the major infrastructure projects and investments in 2023, as businesses are expected a business as usual this year, Mr. Speaker, because there is no appetite for people for spending now. So it is a very serious situation in Mr. Plan. I mean, different altogether, the scenario is different, although we face very difficult time, 2020, for 5 years, the 11th Parliament, but money flow, Mr. Speaker. It's like indirect export earning and continue to come inside the country for the big projects that are happening inside the country, Mr. Speaker. So we continue to, despite the fact that borders closed and things like that, we are money still coming in. And there is appetite for people to spend. We do not have that scenario. This is the 4 years that we're facing now, Mr. Speaker. And we really need putting head blooming together, Mr. Speaker. We need all of us together in this. So the focus for 2024 is broadly in line with the historical GDP growth of 2.5% pre-COVID period. And this growth, Mr. Speaker, is still uncertain. We're not really comfortable with him, and could be changed given the ongoing war. Still looking at Putin want to fight it, and Prime Minister of Israel want to fight it, and also so. But knowing things that that part of the world, and it really affects small island states, including Solomon Islands, or some other countries that depend on wheat and food that them come from and Ukraine and Russia, Mr. Speaker, would really suffer. But you, me, okay, a little bit far away, but you also feeling the pinch, Mr. Speaker. So it may affect a small volatile economy like Solomon Islands, Mr. Speaker. Any small movement, the world economy will affect us, Mr. Speaker. So the drivers of growth, the fishing activities, sir, are expected to perform stronger in 2024. Sir, as growth is projected to increase by 5% from 3.6% in 2023. The increase in growth is relatively due to an increase in catches, due to good weather conditions, as more fish is anticipated in our exclusive economic zone, and expected higher demand from the import countries and also domestic consumption. So fish, oh, good, thank you. But business and services activities are expected to increase too. Mr. Speaker, as I said, not all is gloomy. In fact, by 3.1% of growth in 2024, we're expecting that, Mr. Speaker, as the domestic economy, we expect it to continue to recover from the shocks of the past 3 years, with more improvement in business services and an expected boost from national infrastructure projects and private projects, particularly South Pacific Game and the Tina River Hydro, Mr. Speaker. In the primary sector, sir, the growth outlook is broadly stable for 2024 and 2025. All is not gloomy, Mr. Speaker, although a downward trend in logging activities may go down. The agriculture and the hunting sector, Mr. Speaker, is expected to increase by 3.3% in 2024. And this is, Mr. Speaker, mainly driven by the strong demand in the formal sector, plus the improvement in the informal sector, as domestic activities are expected to continue stronger as we move in 2024, Mr. Speaker. Mining and manufacturing activities, Mr. Speaker, are expected to slightly increase by 0.01%, Mr. Speaker, and 0.3%, albeit, Mr. Speaker, a lower level compared to the increase in construction activity, as the number of mining licenses has increased, and the improvement in domestic activity is expected to continue in the next year and over the near term as well, Mr. Speaker. And coming down more straight now, leaving this economy, we want to come down straight now with the fiscal update, Mr. Speaker. Year to date, April 2024, the government, sir, has recorded a deficit spending of $74.8 million for year-to-date April 2024. 74.8. What does that mean? Even as a collecting revenue for supporting that one, Mr. Speaker. The revenue is shortfall. So, total expenditure is $1,139 million is higher than total revenue receipts of $1,064.2 million. And the total revenue in the collecting, I know that full figure, or 4% under collection against revenue projection of $1,104 million. The positive and above collections come from Tuvala bodies here no more, Mr. Speaker. Inland revenue and customs, Tuvala over collecting one employee by 18 million and by 32 million respectively, Mr. Speaker. They're doing well, Tuvala revenue bodies. However, Mr. Speaker, on the other hand, year to date non-tax revenue, Mr. Speaker, collections from other ministries, 45.8 million, and month-on-month collections for non-tax revenue continue to collect below pro rata projections by 90.3 million, or 66%. Not even collecting, Mr. Speaker. So in comparison to revenue collection, same period last year, 2023, the total revenue receipts of 1,064.2 million is 7% above the 996.2 million revenue collected in 2023, Mr. Speaker. So the 12 revenue bodies are doing fine, Mr. Speaker. And on the expenditure side, here to date, Solomon government expenditure was 1,139 million, or 20% below pro rata expenditure. Projections of 1,416 million. There was a slow start, of course, early in the first quarter. However, this time, brata, expenditure baru pick up narakaina. Mr. Speaker, I think because we go the caretaker mode and awesome, so even really spending time, everything back to normal, and speed up now, Mr. Speaker. In comparison to 2023, the total expenditure of 1,139 million is 11% above the total expenditure of 1,025.9 million in 2023. The Solomon government domestic revenue, sufficient only for cover more the recurrent expenditure, Mr. Speaker, and this is why, sir, very critical that the funding that is securing from all the donors, for supporting, implementing budget, and must come now, Mr. Speaker. So the framework, as you know, so the 2024 budget built from the 2023 budget strategy framework and strives to achieve two important objectives, and that is to strengthen our resilience to achieve sustainable and economic growth, and of course further strengthen delivery of services to our people in the rural areas, Mr. Speaker. And the Parliament, as you know, approved the 2024 Appropriation Bill 2023 with the budget theme, Mr. Speaker, restoring fiscal stability to maintain growth, Mr. Speaker. So the budget then called for fiscal responsibility, discipline, and stability through effective collaboration to foster a resilient and sustainable economy. The economy, Mr. Speaker, is still recovering from an unprecedented shock over the last 3 years. And very, very important, the government commits to restore stability and discipline on its financial position so as to rebuild its fiscal buffers against domestic and external shocks, Mr. Speaker. That is my responsibility on this 100 days program of government, Mr. Speaker. So, in 2024, Mr. Speaker, government and government overall budget deficit of $956.4 million. 2024, so this one I fall by 547.9 million in comparison to 1,504.3 million deficit in 2023. So you may let it bring come down with, and we contain it, contain him there. Mr. Speaker, total consolidated revenue is projected to be 303,447.3 million, a slight increase of 2% or 67.3 million from the 2023 original estimates of 3,380 million, Mr. Speaker. The total consolidated expenditure estimate is 4,403.7 million, which includes total domestic expenditure of 4,268.4 million and 135.3 million donor-funded recurrent expenditure, Mr. Speaker. How to finance the budget deficit, Mr. Speaker? We want to inform him House and people of this country, sir, the budget deficit by finance from additional funding that is securing from development partners, believe me, through the joint policy reform group that exists between Ministry of Planning, Finance, and the donors, believe me, and of course from the Solomon Islands government borrowings, and also the rollover funding from 2023. So those are, and how you may want to funding the budget deficit, Mr. Speaker. And a total of 660 million development financing has been secured and finished from development partners and domestic borrowings. This including $70 million rollover from 2023, 15 million from MFAT, 52 million from DFAT, 200 million from ADB, and $23 million dollars from European Union. So those make up the 660 million that we secured from what development partners leaving. On the domestic borrowing, Mr. Speaker, Parliament may approve 558 million annual borrowing limit of 2024, as you will remember, Mr. Speaker, of which 300 million was allocated for development bond for supporting the Solomon Islands government for funding the 2024 budget, Mr. Speaker. And to date, out of the 660 million, where the promise you mean, Mr. Speaker, the government has so far received 15 million from MFAD, a partial receipt of 52 million from DFAD. You may expect him for receiving budget support by the end of this third quarter from European Union and from ADB, well, early December 9. By the time you go for Christmas, now, so you really need to talk strong about now. You may need him to send. So that's the kind of timing of the game, you mean? But we are sticking very close to them and tell them that we really need this funding to come up front, Mr. Speaker. And the timing set of when the budget support funding is transferred to SIG is an area of real concern to the government. As you may experience in the 2023, sir, most of the budget support funds were received by Solomon Islands government in the fourth quarter now of 2023. Therefore, efforts had been made to bring forward this critical budget support, Mr. Speaker. I'll stop and finish with this one. In terms of the development bonds, Mr. Speaker, so far, Debt Management Unit has issued two vol tender notices in the first quarter at $45 million each. However, there is no uptake from SOEs to pay the development bonds, Mr. Speaker. So our principal buyers, SOEs blaming the Solomon Islands National Provident Fund and the Central Bank of Solomon Islands, who or the government thresholds that limiting their buying of government security for the purpose of managing the exposures blocked, Mr. Speaker, and the lack of uptake from these agencies and reflecting, I think, Mr. Speaker, their expectations may be that the government is also contemplating additional commitments to be funded through their investments in government bonds, Mr. Speaker. And this will essentially increase the funding gap that the government is already faced with by the amount of these additional commitments which we have to be to authorize through a supplementary budget, and we must look at that. I think we probably look at the need for that. Might need to come on when we come back after we look at our 100 days programs and all that. We might probably need a supplementary appropriation, Mr. Speaker, and that is to for regularizing something that by doing longer Parliament, either we reprioritize or we transfer things from other places in the Muslim, we still need a supplementary appropriation. So with the recent approval of our cabinet to buy back LSL and repel estates valued at 140 million, Mr. Speaker, the deficit financing will increase by 25%, Mr. Speaker, to 698 million. The Ministry of Finance sir, will issue development bonds totaling 140 million in the local capital market. As a result of this decision, Mr. Speaker, the debt to GDP ratio is expected to rise, and likewise debt servicing expenditure. Right now we're staying at 22%, Mr. Speaker. The debt to GDP, 22%. The ceiling put in for himself under the Debt Management Act, Mr. Speaker, is 35%. The IMF threshold, of course, is 70%, Mr. Speaker. So we can go up to 70%. The real issue for him, Mr. Speaker, is not whether we are amending the law and we borrow more. It's our revenue to debt ratio. And not very important, whether we can collect revenue to be able to repay. And we need to look, especially look at the short-term bonds, Mr. Speaker, where we ripe very early, maybe during the course of the life of the Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and putting too much pressure in. If it is for 10 years or maybe grace period of 10 and then 40 years repayment, oh, let's go, because we are investing in a growing economy, Mr. Speaker. You should not try to loan him, Mr. Speaker. But we just have to be cautiously here, Mr. Speaker. So I'm keeping very closely with the debt management unit, Mr. Speaker, and they advise me in a regularly on this matter, Mr. Speaker, and through I will advise, and they advise the cabinet through me as well, Mr. Speaker. Now, due to the already limited appetite for government securities by SOE and financial institutions, the LSL borrowing will, yes, by crowding out the government borrowings to finance the budget deficit by same kind of magnitude in the domestic bond market. But notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, the limited opportunities for additional revenue, government will have to pursue combination of, and this is my advice to the government, Mr. Speaker. This is a very important program for government, and by me securing this $140 million, Mr. Speaker, I already have a word from all our SOEs that Selenia Emirati will buy government now for him to pay him this $140 million, Mr. Speaker. But for addressing that, Mr. Speaker, addressing the limited opportunities, but if you look at one, I mean, that's why probably will need supplementary appropriation, the reprioritization of expenditure, soliciting additional borrowing, which by doing, and of course budget support from bilateral and multilateral partners, and also pursue additional revenue measures. And this is where we want to outline a little bit something. I fully know, Mr. Speaker, the call by the leader of the opposition that when we venture down that path, Mr. Speaker, venture down the path that I'm not affecting this economy too much. Because this country, Mr. Speaker, is already a highly taxed country, Mr. Speaker. And so the move going forward for addressing the cost of government, people of the country, is to reduce taxation. That's how you should go, Mr. Speaker. We're in a situation here now, Mr. Speaker, that we must finance this budget today, now, tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. And I will call on the understanding of the people of this country, Mr. Speaker. We, as a G, as we say already, revenue collection is steady and improving month on month. For me, Thailand, too, revenue of important big revenue organizations are collecting good to us now. Good to us, month on month. But of course, at a slow pace, mainly from non-tax revenue and somewhat a little bit customs a little bit too, or sometimes drag back a little bit as well. So the government proposed the following revenue measures and expected to collect around 30 million to boost its ongoing revenue collections, Mr. Speaker. Leader opposition, listen, come now. We will be introducing what we call a pollution fee of $50, Mr. Speaker. $50. This is an annual pollution fee of $50. We will by introducing and we charge him every pollution emitters. So you doing something that by me in attracting natural takis, you will pay now. This will start, Mr. Speaker, with vehicles to be followed by ocean-going vessels and other engines, Mr. Speaker. So I will go about meeting over that. We present very powerful cases of similar land states. You will big countries now, you will meeting too much. You remember then they say, I must outboard motor now, you will get a country blame. And they're telling us that outboard motor and meeting more greenhouse gas, Mr. Speaker, than something that some big countries do. Anyway, that's the point of debate. No more people will go ahead and debate with him. But that's the position they're taking. But anyway, that's something we are facing. So applying the fee on vehicles alone, a small amount number, about about $2 million, Mr. Speaker. Revenue raised will be allocated to support the Ministry of Environment, climate change, meteorology, and disaster management program in reducing environment hazards, Mr. Speaker. That's why you look at now with small bottle of water. Small bottle of water, and so we're putting on the water Pick one for you, go take water behind and drink. Using my scan glass, Mr. Speaker. So you start for doing that, Mr. Speaker. Alcohol exercise, Mr. Speaker. The new alcohol exercise increase is expected for this year. The last increase was in 2018. Time with Ricky here. Sorry, member for Small Malek. Mr. Speaker, when I was Minister of Finance that year. And that's the last increase to alcohol. So the expected revenue for the increase is about $3.5 million, Mr. Speaker. The other one is the determined value schedules, the update on log export, Mr. Speaker. Setting of new values should bring him in additional revenue of $10 million. Sir, I'm really disappointed with this area, sir, Mr. Speaker. There is right now, as we are talking, there is no monitor, zero now, of every log that go out of this country, Mr. Speaker. And I'm appealing to the Ministry of Forestry, sir, to cooperate within the Ministry of Finance to this matter, Mr. Speaker, so that we are trying to put in together a mechanism, Mr. Speaker, that must control him, monitor him every log that go out of this country, and that system is yet to be established because there is some slow response from the Ministry of Forestry, and now we have a new minister, so we will need to pursue that again, Mr. Speaker. But that, sir, people are laughing all the way to the bank, Lord, this one. This matter, sir. So why you need to look at that one. The mineral tax, gold and nickel export duty, and memorandum of understanding review, Mr. Speaker. The export duty on gold and nickel, and we expect it to generate an additional 15 million. This estimate, by the way, I'm already inside now, for 2024 budget, we will already affect them in, Mr. Speaker. But the review of the MOUs, Mr. Speaker, I was just talking with the Deputy Prime Minister, and we will by able to sit down together and look at this one, Mr. Speaker. Some for the MOU may run foul with the Income Tax Act, Mr. Speaker, and relevant tax laws, sir. We can understand fully, and it's a practice everywhere, sir, that when mining companies come in this country, they front load of the expenditures, capital expenditures. And that's understandable because they've got to come, they've got no earning revenue yet. They've got no earning income, but they 10 million, 20 million or something now, or the committee law, bring them bulldozer, bring them every machine. So zero revenue, expenditure, 20 million, almost. And laws, believe me, they carry forward laws unlimited now. Go forever. So income tax, company tax is even not collecting anything from mining companies. I was just sharing that with the Minister of Mines, and we don't need to sit down and look back at this one. And to make it worse, you may also exempt him foreign companies, so foreign employers, foreign employees that come in this country are not paying PAY tax, or not paying non-resident withholding tax to expert advice received from abroad, Mr. Speaker. So there goes the good amount of revenue that IMS is collecting from Ogata before the custom production stages of Ogata, because we will probably never be able to collect company tax from Ogata mining companies below Yumi, Mr. Speaker. Of course, we earn. It's not all gloom and money. This one, we earn, of course, the foreign reserves. Of course, the export earning is recorded inside the National Statistics Central Bank, and also export go out. It's recorded. So we are earning that way, and it strengthens our ability, for example, to borrow. If our reserve is strong and also, and the country is exporting actively, and also, we place in a better position to do that instead of benefiting out of hard cash that may flow around the country, Mr. Speaker. So I'll be talking with the Minister of Mines more that matter. Because of finish, sir. Also, sir, and Thailand finished the government by reviewing the discretionary exemptions, Mr. Speaker. Total exemption foregone by the government in the first 4 months from January to April 2024 for both inland revenue and customs is $83.6 million. $83.6 million. Exemptions. Hindi done for repair road now. You may need him all this for doing all these things now. Mr. Speaker, I'm putting realities on the one so people we may harem. This includes $9.4 million statutory exemptions. Statutory means it goes because it's statutory. Exemption, $74.2 million discretionary exemptions, of which $8.6 million belong to members of parliament. What can people that one? That's us. Of course, that one income, sometimes income from CDF purchases, because the tax rationale there is that you don't tax yourself. It's government money, and then go for projects, so when you buy things from money that comes to the members of parliament, you fill a form and you come to the Ministry of Finance and you are given that, no any question mark on that one. But if you put him no more as a record here no more, for say that $8.6 million, that's 4 months now. 4 months. Exemption. Now, for discretionary exemption alone, if the current trend, discretionary alone, Mr. Speaker, continues, the government expects to forego a significant amount of revenue of $222.6 million or more by the end of 2024, Mr. Speaker. That's the kind of revenue that you mean, lucid now, where you need him too much. Different assessment, of course, come from other mining companies, Mr. Speaker. That runs into several millions as well. The government, sir, will review the discretionary exemptions and disallowing granting of exemption from now on onwards and to any individual or company. What tough actions, but it's not all gloom and all saying. There's an opening there, any application for exemption, but we have to deal with him case by case. There are cases that you must give him now. And in that case, to fully justify him case blockata, and then you must have it doing that one, Mr. Speaker. So, here. Minister of Finance by monitoring very closely the fiscal situation, and MIFL recommended to put more immediate expenditure mitigating measures for managing more unnecessary and wasteful spending in order to prioritize the 100 days program and the implementation of key programs under the 2024 budget, Mr. Speaker. Treasury is conducting additional validation checks, Mr. Speaker, before weekly payroll runs are made, sir, and extensive cleansing and purging exercises currently being done to correct inaccurate data, coding and cleaning out of the redundant ones, Mr. Speaker. There are significant wasteful spending and leakages in the recurrent other charges budget, Mr. Speaker, which could be easily identified for the purpose of generating efficiency savings from over the expenditure areas here, and tightening areas of wastage and the leakages here. Mr. Speaker, by me confining several measures that we will put in goal cabinet, Mr. Speaker, and cabinet approving. We confine him with special interest to technical ministries for regulatory purposes only, Mr. Speaker. Essential services, court, circuits, medical, police, these are very essential areas that continue for benefit from the special interest. In restricting consultations, workshops, awareness, etc., according to relevance, government core policy priorities. Of course, by him got a symposium, so this one I'm exempt from this one. That by him happened, we are calling our people involved in the sectors, a big summit, which by him including me, everyone as well. So we're going to share my ideas now. Overseas trips to be only for those that mandatorily requires SAG representation and those fully sponsored by donors. Payment alarm advance payments for goods and services not delivered. Contract payments to be rigorously verified for performance, Mr. Speaker, and office inventory and supplies to be thoroughly verified for previous purchases and running stock, and simple procurement rules to be strictly adhered to, Mr. Speaker. B, exception to the above, to all the Mitalim come, will be given to essential services, as Mitalim already, like supplies, materials, rations for schools, hospitals, health centers, police, and correctional services. Mr. Speaker, people stuff that. It's a big incentive for you to go there too, Mr. Speaker. So we'll do that. That's the exception. And of course, the following expenditures by prioritizing, including utilities, power, telecom, internet, fuel, water, rental for office and public servants, and public servants' annual leave by Imigo for doing, Mr. Speaker. So we will also, sir, will be applying some reservations to effectively achieve the required expenditure tightening, to be able to meet the required reduction in the recurrent other charges expenditure budget. Mr. Speaker, Treasury will be imposing reservations to certain categories of expenditures from May until the end of the year, Mr. Speaker, and we thank you to the Advice for Public Accounts Committee, Mr. Speaker. We discussed this for a little bit widely, Mr. Speaker, and they have other options. And as to what the Public Accounts Committee is telling us, how you doing? Go on and go tell them now. Also, but these reservations, Mr. Speaker, can be revised. Should there be an important for government and continue for doing waka, and of course. If we are successful getting more domestic bonds here, we come inside and from what the SOEs and budget support from other partners, further increase in financing sources by releasing that one again, Mr. Speaker. And this matter, we closely supervising myself, Mr. Speaker, also ministries that ministers that. For Mr. Speaker. And the targeted fiscal anchor will be the operating deficit of $300 million, Mr. Speaker, in the annual 2024 budget. However, given there is only $299.1 million available for the rest of the year's discretionary other charges, Mr. Speaker, $250 million across all ministries will be held under reservations, Mr. Speaker, so that operating deficit can be narrowed to, I think it's $50 million. Mr. Speaker. And these expenditures, sir, will be executed pursuant to the provisions of sections 56(2) of the Public Financial Management Act 2013, whereby ministries' authority to spend in the identified areas above will be limited by reason of financial exigencies and for the sake of safeguarding government finances and its stability, as to implement priority commitments of the government under the 100 days program, as well as in this year's policies, Mr. Speaker. So government exercising its authority to impose reservations to the balance of the budget to ministries, and these discretionary allocations, including what is already essential expenditures that they earmarked for utilities, for rent, and for something that we list income already, Mr. Speaker. The government therefore considered necessary to put in place a reservation across the expenditures, among others, like tightening revenue, compliance, and improving collections. Mr. Speaker, and the reservation, sir, will mean the reduction of recurrent expenditure outflow by $250 million, which would close the gap between recurrent revenue flow inflows and expenditure outflows, and helping government protect payroll, debt servicing, and essential services. This is a standard response. We want to make that one very clear to the tight fiscal and cash flow situation at hand, and the Ministry of Finance and Treasury will continue to closely monitor the situation henceforth to the end of the year. And in Treasury, also will be working very closely with the debt management unit to ensure sufficient Treasury bills and CBSI facility operations. Every regulations and debt servicing will be on time, or if possible, you must have prepay mogata in order to reduce interest charges, and you create drawdown space within the Treasury bills and the CBSI facility, the thresholds that of the government. Mr. Speaker, and the efficient and effective implementation of the development budget should perhaps be the focus of 2024. Focus in 2024. Focus should be on development grants and projects that were curtailed in 2023 as a result of the Pacific Games. And with regard to savings, there are quite a substantial quantum of recurrent other charge expenditures in the developing budget, which could be trimmed, Mr. Speaker, for the sake of moving forward the projects and grants that contribute directly to capital formation, increasing productivity capacity, and generating economic activity, Mr. Speaker. The 100 days, the Janet 100 days policies priorities, Mr. Speaker, for supporting mitigate the current fiscal situation, Mr. Speaker. The following policy areas have been prioritized by Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, mainly focusing resources to boost revenue collection and achieving quality spending within the 100 days. One, review and strengthen the current revenue sources, including non-tax revenue, Mr. Speaker. Improving cash flow to ensure financial stability. Two values, you either look balance it this side or this side. You cannot increase in revenue, you decrease in deficit. That's a simple accounting equation, Mr. Speaker, as the chartered accountant themselves, Mr. Speaker. Then we address the financial leakages and inefficiencies. Review taxation legislation in relation to tax threshold and first income tax bracket, Mr. Speaker. Review budget approach and strategy to cautiously manage ongoing debt financing. It's very important for us. Our life is attached to our debt here, Mr. Speaker, and so so you must make sure that line must continue to flow. Mr. Speaker, in some ways, if we undermine him or if we frustrate him, that one, but that's it. We are locked up. Sir, we also financed the value-added tax bill. Finalized the value-added tax bill 2023 to be tabled in Parliament. We will also initiate and develop the ICT framework for digital transformation, and also we will by convening a national economic summit, Mr. Speaker, to determine national economic development roadmap. Sir, I'm winding down this speech. Sir, I'm saying what I guess, Mr. Speaker, in saying all of that, I want to say all is not gloomy. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance will make sure, and I want to assure the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, that the government delivers on its commitment. Very important, Mr. Speaker. This is a great country, Mr. Speaker, with great opportunities. So, all it needs now is serious people, which I believe all of us are. Otherwise, we should not be here, Mr. Speaker. And I must also call on the cooperation of the public and various sectors and industries that may be affected by the measures to restore confidence on government finances. We call on their cooperation, Mr. Speaker. It's a test of whether we are genuine investors in this country, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I'm taking my mandate under the 100 days program very, very seriously as Minister of Finance and Treasury of this country, and call on the support of all of us to take our country forward, Mr. Speaker. With that, sir, I have no problem supporting the motion that 17 June, adjourn sine-die, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Minister of Finance. Let me now give the floor to the MP for Central Honiara. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity for sharing out. May I ask leave for me for grabbing a couple of minutes? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wanted to contribute on the motion that has been moved by the Prime Minister, that at the adjournment of Parliament on Monday, the 17th of June, 2024, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall then stand adjourned Sine-Die. So I have no problem with this motion too. And I'd like to say that, in fact, the motion yesterday for us to be given a choice to either elect the Governor General here, share. Government should come with a consensus number, come with a name number, and then you may run blessing here. In fact, there is no need no more for you, me for. Move disola, motion for Ngolo Monday the 17th. I hope that you guys sort yourself out to have a candidate. Because, you know, whichever candidate that you come up with, we will support it. We have no problem with it on the 17th of June. That is a very neat way to do this process. In particular, when we have to find a representative for him, representative His Majesty. No need for him to pull him. No need for him to throw him all about or name, go and ask him who number, but you put him. This kind of thing. But anyway, you know, we will stand Sine-Die on that very day. And I hope that, you know, we will come up with a candidate that will buy me of a good choice for representing the head of state, His Majesty, in our beloved country. Yes. Also, at the same time, I think it is also good that, you know, the opportunity is given to all of us, you know, to say something, you know, to the first elected, you know, the first timers, you know, as made an address to this very important, honorable house, and also to the people of our country. As I look into this chamber, the longest serving member of parliament has just spoken. A 7th term. And I could recall those days, you know, when we were serving together in this house, only tribal normal here during that height of that tension. Minister of Finance, yourself, Speaker, and a member of law, Central Honiara. 2001. When we walk into this chamber, gun law outside law there, see? When you were the leader of opposition, I was the leader of independent group. So when you offered me that, or talk to me about it, I say, hey, me, let's go to opposition, you know. I've done my part in the past. The longest serving member of Lume was my member at that time. Yeah, we were sitting on this bench. You and I signed that letter together to support the Governor General and then Prime Minister for that facilitation of International Assistance Act. So these were history, but You know, it's something that made me reflect a little bit on me as I stood here and say something, you know, on this very first motion of Sine-Die to be moved on the 12th Parliament. A motion. Sure. We have to move on. This is the 12th Parliament. And we have a group of, you know, young, very energetic, talented, qualified members, you know, first termers, second termers, coming into this house. A motion. Give them the opportunity. Prime Minister, those serving on your side, if they have shown that potential, give them that opportunity. We just listen normal. It's a very challenging statement that has been given by. And that challenge is not to all of us here. I mean, for him only in this house. It's for the whole country. The situation that our country's, you know, fiscal position and facing today. It could be a situation that has been of a making for a little bit while too. So, Minister of Finance, where's my good friend, the Minister of Commerce, who was your Minister of Finance at that time? In fact, I'm Officer Blomi before, Minister of Commerce. I took him from a post office location. When I was Secretary of Finance, I went down there and then I saw him sitting down there, chewing betel nut along a post office there. He said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I'm a planning officer of Western Province." He said, "You come up. Let's go up to Ministry of Finance." He became my budget officer. I'm not just a Minister of Commerce. I'm normal lawyer. Probably he's outside. But he should have shared some of those points that no, the current Minister of Finance in Italian of this house. The 11th Parliament was deprived of those information. Why? Why? You cannot just wake up normal 6 months normal, then you find yourself in this kind of a situation. No. These are things that are over making for a while. Economy grows over time. But I'm really heartened by, you know, that very stern position that the current Minister of Finance has taken. Prime Minister, give him the space. We need that. My conviction has always been on a dissertation that I have written about small island state. You wreck in public finance, you wreck in fiscal policy, economy will go down. No any other way. Have no. I'll give you a picture of this country. I've separated it in for 20 years, 2 decades, from 1978 to 1998. We were relying on that handsome grant, independence grant from the United Kingdom. And then came, you know, this boom in our resource sector in the late 80s and early 90s. We had that windfall revenue. Minister of Finance himself, we've always spoken about this, you know, when he was Commissioner of Inland Revenue and I was the Undersecretary Budget at the time. But the irony was that, you know, at the time when we were enjoying this windfall revenue, we were also running a budget deficit. We were going around borrowing. One point you must understand, Mr. Finance, please. We were going around borrowing. And then came this exogenous force. The currency crisis that has affected the Asian countries in 1996, beginning in Thailand and Cambodia, we were down on our belly at that time. Luckily, we had a good government that came in at that time that bailed us out. He was the finance minister. I was the secretary. We had quite an excellent, you know, prime minister of our country at that time, you know, the former member for Auki Lang Lang. I'm not sure about this one, but I mean, he is also an excellent member for Auki Lang Lang as well. And we had to undergo that reform. What was the key message? Fiscal mismanagement. And we went down. We were not prepared for the shocks. Simple as simple. And then we went into this leadership crisis, the crisis that, I've just spoken to you about, that the three of us got elected during those times. And we all have to debate in this house to find a space, for peace to come back again. And we got the dividend. The peace is back. And now we are talking like this. We are enjoying all this, the freedom and the liberty of running our own state institutions and our society. That was 2003, right up to 31st of December of 2023. That was the second segment of our 20 years of independence. We went on, we came up, we play our own politics. International political rhetorics and the domestic political rhetorics I had played. We all enjoyed it. We grew out of it. It fomented some of us too. You may have one in Chattel here to be what we are today. We built our own state institutions. Government finance was coming up strong. And then, I am convinced, there comes this slackness again of fiscal policy. We are now down again. Right at the dot of that second 20 years. You mean down again. Say, I come back to this point. You're mismanaging fiscal policy in a small island state. The economy by him go down. By him go down. And my message has always been that stop all these leakages. Me the drive come down here, me hire Minister of Finance and tell him I got really emotional. We are right on the spot. Stop the leakages. Restore him now the integrity of our fiscal position. Don't play around with the little things that are fundamental to our fiscal position. If we do that, we will find a very hard road to come back for recovery, Mr. Speaker. And I'm really grateful that, the Minister of Finance has done that. And thank you, Prime Minister, for, putting the House on notice that the Minister has already briefed Cabinet and then he has taken the position, to present that situation on the second day of this motion of Sine-Die. Thank you. I hope it sinks very well, The key thinking that I'm supposed to be on all of us right now is to help the Minister of Finance to restore this fiscal situation. That has to be the key factor. All of us. That has to be the subject of our conversation. But then, me worry a little bit more. It will go borrow more. It's 140 million. See. Yesterday, in fact, I put you on notice, Mr. Speaker, that I want to ask Prime Minister a question without notice on this particular one. 140 million. I watched what you said, Mr. Prime Minister, on the YouTube. Buying back Ripple and LSL. I was going to ask you the question. Who has gone into liquidation? Ripple and LSL? Or who? I've been given a diagram of a set of corporate entities in a register in a foreign jurisdiction owned by shareholders of the same person and also owns certain companies registered in our jurisdiction. And then, I don't know how or not, we got pulled into this whole thing, Mr. Speaker. How? How we got pulled into this whole deal? My understanding is that the company that has gone into liquidation is a company not even registered in Solomon Islands. him registered in foreign jurisdiction. Why do we have to go and bail him out? Are we the cause of the problem that he went into liquidation? You may think good stand. I feel sorry for the people of this country. Minister of Health, you gave us, tabu belum ya, Minister of Health. Yeah, Maritim Grani belum ya. But he gave us 3 months yesterday to go and fix all the hospitals. Me start for count yesterday, and me almost stand up and say, can I start counting? Because he will never deliver. Me tell him list right now. Yeah. He won't be able to deliver. 3 months we count him here, by 3 months blowing to Alombale. Tell him list right. Why am I take him long? Why do we have to go and bail this guy out? He's not even a registered company in Solomon Islands. For what reason? And if we are to buy back LSL and Ripple, are we buying the assets? Which side of the balance sheet na hindi wala pick him? Or who did the valuation? And which side of the balance sheet? If you look at the financial statement of any entity, you have the profit and loss, and you have the balance sheet. So which limb of the balance sheet na hindi wala pick him? The asset side, asset and masikulim liabilities and equity. What is equity? Shares. So are we buying the shares or the assets? Prime Minister, have you carried out your due diligence? I want a response from you when you close the Sine-Die. Stop him deal. There are so many countries in Solomon Islands that have gone down. Then we never bail them out. Let's make him go out. 4 months this time, container no more, me look him lo there. Me go buy material lo there. We never bail them out. If we have to buy the assets, Prime Minister, I want an answer from you too on Monday. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Through you, Mr. Speaker. Did that shareholder, what now the amount that sent him in charge of country to buy that asset in the first place? Show that proof. Where is that proof? I have to dwell on this thing because, ordinary people in the street, right now, this is right in the middle of their conversation. You will not go walk about the street, so you will not look at me. You will not do yesterday, and maybe for not Malay. And we have had all these concerns. That's why I picked up that point and then had to ask this question, Mr. Speaker. Why? Which side of the balance sheet that valuation the orientation of the valuation go towards? For us to buy the assets, if it has gone into liquidation, or who? I heard something about this liquidation law Australia. Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to ask the Prime Minister to confirm to this House, was the Solomon Islands government a party to that liquidation process? Were we a party to it? Who made that guarantee? Did you guys carry out, I'm sorry, sir, did the government, carry out no due diligence to ensure that all these little things here, if it is the assets, which parcels now, low water land, long Ripple or LSLs, are now subject to that sale and the buyback. And if you have lost asset side, this is my question. My everyone lo yumina you see dan Lord leave a land loan to there. But you how are we buying through this way for helping you, Mr. Lever? Huh? Whilst the ordinary people are sitting out there. Mr. Speaker, let's have a heart for this country and think a little bit. Finance Minister has just told us that, the basket law there and big fella drill na law underneath law here. Patching drill here, what you should do here? Say, or remove drill, patching drill for patching jail hole well or jail drill and who no man see done law there, the drill all over. That's what we need to identify. First 100 days, big drill na indol put him go him. $10 millimeter or minus 20 millimeter drill na at him go this time. Say. So say, if it is that company, obvious, me look him go, there are two companies in a diagram that was sent to me. These two companies are not registered in Solomon Islands. They don't have a foreign investment approval. Say, this will status foreign investment approval, same citizenship. That's how special it is. We have to protect those investors that are investing in us, given that foreign investment approval. To a company, they don't even exist. They are not even registered as a company in Solomon Islands. Why are we bailing them out? The simplest tool that you should do is to tell the Minister of Commerce, anyone that is declared bankrupt, cancel him, send him out of the country. That's the simplest thing that you have to do. Don't use taxpayers' money to bail them out. That is the simplest. That's why we have these laws. And that is one of the conditions. If you are declared bankrupt, off you go. You don't throw them out of the window. Lodo straight now. Am true? Yes, if you are declared. The member for West Arara used to be the secretary of the Foreign Investment Board before. But I think this will act that time, him all one. New one, not this time. It's still the same. The conditions are the same. If you are declared bankrupt in a foreign jurisdiction, sorry, you forfeit your foreign investment approval. That's what we should have done. IH cabinet, you go and then sit down again, then cancel him, not 140 million. Nobody will take us to court. Nobody. No foreign court have got a jurisdiction for Odamna Court plus Solomon Islands. Please save our fiscal situation. Save in Facebook country here. Give equity back to our people. In fact, what you should have done is to go and get him that, whatever, 60 million where you take him out from Solomon Ports here and give a guarantee to all the shipping companies. That's what we should be doing. You think say una hem make him up na disola cash reserve belong Solomon Ports here. It's all the shipping companies and the traveling publics below Milo country here. That's what we should be doing. That is exactly why I reformed them in the first place. Minister of Finance this time, I had to talk to him and convince him that we have to do the reform in 2007. Lord SOEs. And it came out very well. Give that money to the shipping companies. That's what we should be doing. I'm giving you a hint, Prime Minister. If you do that, I'm sure that the small shipping and the traveling public of Solomon Islands will be happy. Every 2 years they do seaworthy test. Am true? Every boat here. Go to sleep well. You think they won't buy garam silen for paying now? Samvala, they are lucky no more because we have the grant from the government. Let's put up the scheme like that, Baba Hemsai work him good something for our country. Not for bailing out someone that out of his own mistake can be causing problem law elsewhere. And say, if it is on the liability side, okay, if we are picking the asset side, no, not from the asset side, it's on the liabilities, all the shares, now you may pay more. Remember, by law, a secured creditor will always be the Commissioner of Inland Revenue. Me no even look him lo due diligence below it well, they did all out him to tax. No man. Me no even look him too. 140 million, bang, fly out, repatriate it out. You know what he will do? It causes a pressure on our external reserve. Amos. These are the consequences to our country. Go out of the country. That is the first thing that we shouldn't do. Protecting what is inside our country. Protect both external and the internal balance of the union. Have no message to the Minister of Finance, just tell him this time, yeah? Protect the internal balance and protect the external balance. Opposite mo him doing me. Big hole na him go drill him go external balance. At the pressure of who? The internal balance. Him not by repaying this 140 million. And then it will affect this foreign exchange ending going to take come here at the expense of our internal or fiscal policy. Sometimes later I will talk about the consequences of even, why I will have to go and borrow more of the SOEs and financial institutions. Don't need to go and borrow. Create a scheme for shipping companies. When a member blow Maro, oh, him no maloya. He'll be really happy. I'm telling you. Member for West Arare. Making me stop now for putting pressure now on government finance, so that government finance can have other priorities to be prioritized. That's what we should be doing. Say, I could not wait. I had to knock that 140 million first. Knock it off. It's not good for our country. Apply another Foreign Investment Act. If this guy is a declared bankrupt, get him out of the country. He has no right to lay a claim over any assets or whatever in this country. Simple as no. But me wonder what sort of due diligence here. Because me harem no secretary below you too here. Lord Ishwala show here. We carried out our due diligence. And we think we should buy now, back or something. Man, me will watching me come down this time. Me. No, that is wrong. So if that is the case, have you carried out your diligence? So which company name to pay him back here? Liability blow another company in a separate jurisdiction that him affecting his ability to be able to pay up capital to this company lawyer. But that is your own problem in that jurisdiction. Nothing to do with this jurisdiction. And if you carry out due diligence, and another statement that came out was that, in that way we will take it back. I tell you, you put him go lo hand long government, everyone number go squat lo to every LSL land here. Am true? Yeah? Yes. Everyone by go squat lo there. Me by go too. No minimum. Yeah. No minimum lo there. I hope, say, this submission here will make the government for rethinking back not just 140 million. Save our country. And I tell you, the people will support you. People will support you. Take whatever 60 million lo there and put him lo guarantee for helping with the shipping company. I agree with that. And then also lower side lo pollution here, what a man lo renewable energy. There are so many renewable energy potentials in our country for rural electrification. Microhydros, that have been proposed in so many locations inside the country, believe me, but without what? Funding. Without funding. Minister of Police yesterday has to Skillfully, you answered some question about Maka. But the real problem was that there was a budget overrun possibility. The real cause of the problem why not Maka police no completely. It's a budget overrun. Because I heard from him that there's going to be a supplementary. So if there's a supplementary, budget overrun no more. No. You run over budget blue you and or man we him walk no more him listen him run away. Whichever of these two. So now the Minister of Mines and Energy come inside here, get that another portion of that from where you take him out of Solomon power, give it to developing water mini hydros throughout the country. And then reduce him now our dependence on the fossil fuel. That will save external reserve. That will go in a long way for us to showcase our commitment towards this whole climate crisis that is going on in this world. I don't know what you need for doing. But no for go belly mount someone with him doing something mistake to him law another jurisdiction. You have one thing to do, Minister of Commerce, apply him, bang, you go out now. Sorry. Simple as that. There's so many gaps in this whole policy announcement that Prime Minister, sorry now, that you do him the first 100 days here. On that very first conference where you did, Mr. Speaker. So many gaps. You may reverse it. That's on LSL. Me touch a little bit lower. But, Minister of Finance, thank you for bringing that fiscal situation, that fiscal scenario. Developed countries that are now getting out of, slowly recovering from this COVID situation, where you got him this time. Not that we wanted to compare ourselves with them. The first key thing that they have all adopted, strengthening fiscal position. Fiscal position. That is the first thing. You, Harem, press release blow, Director General of, or Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund. Countries that have shown resilience are the ones that are building strong fiscal situation. Have no more message. So, I want to thank the Prime Minister for appointing member for Northeast Treasury as Minister of Finance. We need him at this very crucial time. And he's quite right. The anchor of us moving forward and to make the 12th Parliament successful is to anchor it on building a strong fiscal situation. Simple as that. Small countries that have grown into the first world countries, they've gone through this situation. Singapore, for instance. And Minister of Finance, go back and then build our own reserve. No kakaim now the reserve belum kata so easy. Build them as fiscal reserve for our future generation. No looking no more and we now the build up look cash flow the mingo hole molo the so easy. The moment you do that, you kill the whole system that hold our country together. And remember, they are the only reserve that we are left with. The cash reserve held by all these SOEs. I agree with you, Minister of Finance, that, Mr. Speaker, that all those that may have been statutorily given, the exemption, this is the time that we have to review that. They cannot hide under the cover of those entities. Their subsidiaries must be subject to tax. Minister of Finance, you know very well, you and I started SPOL when Shell walked out from this country. You and I agreed at that time, you were foreign minister at that time, let's buy off Shell. Today, Cascow Law, National Provident Fund. No? It was a little bit jealous too. Time you look at more, they run blow water, the driver run load, the Hilux and something. And me jealous several times too, but them right living gone. That's our legacy. 2006, you know that, bro. But taxi more than this time. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not specific to them. Now we have to apply tax equitably. I think that's the right way. And Chair, I really wanted to help welcome him now. The position that has been projected by the Minister of Finance, I think that is the way to go, Chair. I've said something on that 140 million, and I hope that government by and take note of it. Our citizens are waiting right now. If you may bail him out, someone that has made his own mistake elsewhere, how now? Those that are under our whim law here, within our own economic environment here. What am I doing look at that? I'm sure look at it to you. Me to try business to you, then go, no man, no. Great cook run after me, but I'm right now. We'll be all right. Yeah. That's on LSL, sir. Sir, Prime Minister spoke about trade. That is important. We need to expand our trade capacity. That's what we need to do. But we need to sequence it properly. And then you may start somewhere that will make an impact. You spoke about PRC, the China market. Absolutely excellent, sir. But China, as you know, is a big market too. And the arrangement, as I understand from you, it is a non-reciprocal arrangement. Meaning, order cannot come and intrude, you may not forego. One way no more. This is where we need to prepare ourselves. Improving that capacity law here. Find new capital funding into our country and then you may expand him na kokoa. Or what more? Chile, turmeric, and all of it. So I think the right platform that Intel should work along him to be able to, at the same time, have a win-win situation, not waiting for when we are ready to be able to export, because it's going to be killing on our people. It's for you for capitalizing more at this time. Use that as a platform for you to attract fresh funding into our economy and help our economy for them grow stronger. That's what we need to do, Amos. You know, announce him no more and then say, okay, you may wait now for budget, babahem worker. No, budget, babahem no worker good time. We'll wait, go to our parliament him over. Mr. Speaker, we need to do things very skillfully right now, Amos. At the same time, we announce our plan, ambitious as they may be, but at the same time, we have to be skillful enough to be able to support him too. That whole capital market that Intel got him this time. That's what we need to do. So use some kind of a platform for you to help boost him now, these smallholder farmers. That's what we need to do. But we have some good, well-developed model of investment that have me work for our country. Canada, for instance. Say, you say what? We are the first country in the Pacific for garam now. Canada, 1970. Papua New Guinea no even garam middle of that time. Papua New Guinea and 5 you me one it. Let's challenge ourselves. And the model of cannery that you got investment of cannery, and producing almost like 2,500 workers. So just imagine, suppose you got 3 canneries. I don't have a preference location, but let's say, tripod the 3 biggest provinces. See down in one each lower province. I tell you, you are creating almost about 6,000 to 7,000 jobs. And that is doable within the 12 parliament. You can do that. Or you can reduce it to, based on, the taste of the market, or the international market. But me little bit got a problem, or a small something we Intel give him boy. Intel might not fit him or the big country or the export goal or the big market. So say whilst we are concentrating on, a particular market, let's look at very select markets as well. ASEAN, for instance. Suppose you will run like in Australia and New Zealand, you will go ASEAN. Emotion. They are good market too. They have potential. In fact, some of them are now the fastest growing economy in Indo-Pacific. Emotion. Some of them are the fastest growing. So let's look at some of these things. I totally agree with you that we have to look at trade as a way for me to, because, as I always say, I said it before as finance minister, the real income block country is when you earn him now, it's like foreign exchange. That is the real income. That is the real income. Unfortunately, possibly for all sorts of reasons, the last 8 years here would be a good time for you for starting some good investment, but you know what I do now. We do have infrastructures, but we need new supply, new oxygen, breathe in charge of economy. That's what we need. Let's do it on the legislative parliament. You mean look at each other, no man, eat talk no money and preaching no more. These are advice. These are advice. And then don't forget that we need to work on the infrastructure too, so that we can get our economy going in the right way. I also heard something about the Boundaries Commission, some of the political issues that, and fundamentals that, we have been talking about, over the last, decade and even beyond too. I think political parties' integrity. I think, one thing that I want to say here is that on the issue of political parties, of course, we had the situation in 2010. We were absolutely, really, we are not looking eye to an eye on that particular bill when we came into this house. And the member for Northeast Churchill was absolutely right about it. Me, I am not. I am telling that, we defeated it ourselves, in the government side. I'm true. These were all based on the fundamental constitution of the UMI. Because if we had taken that situation, it would have been thrown out by the High Court of the Solomon Islands. Because we did not have that choice in our constitution. And that was the situation in Papua New Guinea. Right now in Papua New Guinea, they were not able to even have the enforcement of the regulation of their own political party simply because of that particular choice. So recently, when you see the movement of Papua New Guinea, Ottoman resigned lo panggung go join in Ottoman opposition. Why? Constitution allow more for move. So they could not amend the constitution. But in our case, we have that choice in our constitution. And that particular constitutional amendment, in the end, there were a couple of changes made, cases that have gone to court have pointed to that fact that we could not make that change, that draconian changes, to the constitution. That if you tell a move go on the other side, then also you shut it now. It's a fundamental thing inside the constitution. So the only thing is for you for amending. But if we amend it, what will we do to our own constitution? We always think in constitution, blame in house here. You can cut and post here, one will win, come by him, blown by him, fall down. So let us protect what is in the constitution. The whole purpose of political party is that for him, for inculcate him now, this whole political party culture here. That pathway. So I'm all right. People move, go here, go sideways, go there, but at least, they still have some poles over around there where water sabe run go back to him in Ose. So anything happen, me run go back here or something or something. But within this house, within this house, It will take time, say. It will take time before this thing will finally, find itself, instilled right down into our society. It needs education. We need to fund them too here. Say, let me make that point right now. Make him Prime Minister of Finance and everything in. Let's fund the political party, but put some strict, management guidelines. The Public Finance Management Act here is a very tight act here. Provided that you may regulate him, not just regulation blow him. I'm told that in that regulation, him still, 10 years overdue or 1 year. You may still go ahead, IFA 1 year, FI or 1 year. FI him blow time blow middle Minister of Finance before committee. Financial instruction, FI, Hermosen. Now we should have gone out to some different acronym, PFMA regulation or something or same. That's what I thought. But he's going to do it now, so I'm really happy. Sir. Yeah. These are all geared towards building up strong state institutions, democratic institutions that balance our society. That balance our society. So, say, that's my little take normal, the political party thing. On the Boundaries Commission, you see, say, if you look at the distribution, the mean distribution of all our constituencies right now, it varies. I mean, the whole purpose of a constituency is that, you map him a particular geography based on a mean distribution of the population, to be represented here in this house. So it is the constituencies and belongs to our constitution. Him not belongs to our tribe. Him not belongs to our own ethnicity. It belongs to the constitution because it is created out of the constitution. Sometimes you may say, hey, him blow tribe, him blow mival here, money him no language or him no. No. It is to capture the spread along a population. And based on that, that geography is made. So for instance, you look at jurisdictions like Australia, for instance. But you look him no, population along a small suburb along Sydney is just how many square meters, big no more. Then you compare him go now, population along a constituency or electorate somewhere along Northern Territory or Western Australia. Huge. You have to fly how many hours on plane? That is why democracy, what is important in democracy is human society. It is a human society. It is based on the mean distribution of our population. So suppose you look at Rwanda, probably the average mean average constituency would be Minosabe. You will run by walk him out. But as for Central Honiara should represent him triple constituency, and especially the vote count that is given to the current member of Central Honiara. The highest since the history of this country, say. Me should represent him triple constituency. I'm sorry, I'm leaving Muslim. Based on the mean average blue everyone. But that's probably why you have to give more space to talk. So making me to talk no more. You know what law? She done law at law there for sign. Me put to talk no more here no more. But you must take note too. Time me talk. Because at the back of your mind, you know that me represent triple constituency, and probably the rest of the Solomon Islands too, from east to west, north and south. Proxy blow whole Solomon Islands is Central Honiara. And it's you may happy a little bit, Mr. Speaker. Me hot a little bit low, but this time me happy a little bit low. No, make sure, but no in the lunch, no, I have no problem. Say, thank you, sir. So, sir, I digress a little bit, but don't worry. I'm back to my point, and the point is that we need to task the Boundaries Commission to do their job. We have to. Our democracy must expand here, slowly. It must expand. It shows the majority of our society, that our society has grown to understand the modern state institutions that you may adopt in this time. Me just like say something no more about road and infrastructure, simply because, you know, I represent Central Honiara, Ivale Ransabe now. The CBD. No in CBD, lo wall and pothole was money. You all agree? Mr. Speaker, can I ask especially that, you know, the first priority is to fix him now, develop CBD pothole blame. Please. Please. First priority. I'm putting the question, not the question, but I just wanted to say it to Sine-Die because I'm allowed to say it, so he will not stop me too. Give that as the first priority. Image of the country, this is all a CBD blame. The moment you walk inside Lonoma, you know wear him high heel. Now you by fall down, break him leg. That's our CBD. Let's do something, Mr. Speaker. This is the heart of the country. Of course, you know, we have to end that resources, you know, and then you may use that resources for export, for trade, international trade, and so forth. But that monetary commodity must land here now, because those institutions are here. Inside logical CBD. The bank, they are not financial institutions, they are banks. Central bank. Everyone here central no more, so constituency I'm central too. I'm central well too. Yes, yeah. So hem pam whole 9 province blue you must feel it night. This time hem pam everyone still something is wrong. Let's start off with this road. The infrastructure. And I'm Prime Minister, you have just appointed him now, a very enthusiastic Minister for Health. He has taken on that responsibility so overwhelmingly. Yeah. You should congratulate him, give the support to him. Give the first resources that are available, Minister of Finance to the Minister of Health. What medicine no more? What outpatient here, Baran no good straight. Anyone level go outpatient lo there too? Me oh in it? Oh, go ahead. Say, I'm really passionate about this whole issue. Man, let's find some resources and then get all this medicine and the stocks out of where they are right now. If they are in the bone warehouse, finding way out in the bone warehouse here. People are dying. What more all the provincial hospitals blame here? Ever since independence, we have never done anything to improve them now, or the provincial tertiary institution blame, or the hospitals blame. Honestly, since independence, no man. Only one val no more, mi val garem longizo. Longizo. But like now, Japan, you come, then mi val rao him too, go before mi val longizo taken. Let's do something. These are real drivers here. Good funding that we get from all the MDBs or multilateral development banks or the regional development banks or even from donors will be a real boost to our own liquidity here. And don't fail ourselves too. When we get them, no retaining more the money outside. This is the problem that we have with cable. One time, even Gelatina Hydro here too. I'm sorry, Deputy Prime Minister, I have to say that. This is a problem. When we got that resources from the international renewable energy, we should host it here in this country. Fuel him now, liquidity inside the country here. No, go keep him outside. You will keep him outside for what here? That wasn't our intention. Our intention is to have it hosted in our economy. But of course, before they can trust us, we need strong, decisive Minister of Finance like the Minister now, my brother. Fiscal policy must play well. We have to show the real value of our fiscal policy. But that's what we need for the hospitals. We have never done any renovation law of the hospitals. 12 Parliament, let's come up with a budget. Let us vote for renovation law of every provincial hospitals. That's what we need to do. And more than that, I will come and stop law that one, connectivity. Minister of Law, communication in infrastructure. Let's get further infrastructures on for connectivity. We need the second and the third cable for connecting Solomon Islands again. At the moment, let's go for the second and third now. Connecting east and west. And he knows, right now, it's quite cheaper for me to connect from the eastern side and the western side. We already have that cable that I'm ready. Somewhere, one will blow me there. One for 1 hour to finish. Let's connect it. The way forward is for not for you to say, oh, you wait for economy and grow, or make other people blow me got an income. No more. Technological change, this time you must introduce it now. We must have it at whatever cost. Otherwise, Baba will run behind it. Because economic development and technological development that is going on right now is running at fast. 150 kilo per kilometer. You missed still 48. So we will not say that, and any conversation every minute says, don't say to them, oh, we will wait time economy grow strong. When will that economy strong? No. You need their technology for him make him strong. Bring it here. Bring that technology here. Satellite by him come here too. But we need to work on Starlink, Minister of Finance and Mr. Prime Minister. I know a lot of people in our country are using Starlink. And cheaper, very efficient. But the problem is this. They're not paying tax in this jurisdiction. They're not paying tax in this jurisdiction. We need to compel them to pay tax. There has to be a system for YUMI to capture it. YUMI cannot go pay tax now long Australia, because right now, how many a lot of people go to Garam Starlink here. Or to top up golong Australian account block. So he's taxing them. That Australian jurisdiction tax office, not us. So let's work on it. These are some ways for YUMI for raising revenue for our country. But at the same time, we can enjoy the fast and the efficient, connectivity out of those technology. But the point is that, our conversation has to be that, we must have those technology. Connectivity is a key for YUMI, for lifting YUMI up from where we are. Because we have to look for the new job here, not the old job. And the thing that will help us to look for the new job is technology. Technology, connectivity, emotion. That's what we need to do. So I'm not a little bit that also I want to say on the issue of connectivity. You may really need for no jam all over the place. So you may really need for work on it. And I'm really happy that Minister of Finance has announced today that there's going to be a national economic summit. I think this country needs. Donors need to see the priority. We need to see where we are projecting our pathway for growth here. I've just sounded out some areas of growth, but I'm sure that we will be waiting for the 100 days for him to come out and then YUMI luluklo. We need it. We need this pathway for growth. But for now, let's not forget. Whatever that God has given us, that abundant resource that God has given us, including the natural resources that He has given us, Intel must manage Him good. Apply prudential management over those resources. In forestry, fisheries, and mining, Minister of Mines. Please. Where there is leakages, stop them today now. God not give him come out of resource here for interval here. Emotion. We cannot run it in our own way. If you know that there is a leakage law there, stop him till a leakage here. Emotion. Bring it back to this house. Take him come back to the house here. House here, custodian belong over the resource here. I'm not a house here. Bring it back here. Emotion. In the immediate time, this is the main driver of growth that you should rely on. This mining sector. Emotion. Don't forget that. If you tell us quantum, we will give a big problem to the Minister of Finance. How not by him steer him now, the pathway, the fiscal recovery. We will give a hard time for him. Emotion. We need to do that. Say. Of course, there are other activities that are around the country. When the right time may come, you work alone. People no forget him too. Jala investment me do him low. Down low there, local bangara, you must help him too. Me hire Minister of Finance say him go clean him last time, but no in cleaning no, me look him low there. Do something. Do something, make him investment in him grow strong. This is the biggest, pillar blow you me low climate crisis. We have that as a good investment for climate crisis. So don't spoil it. But I come back to my own very constituency loyal Central Honiara. Mr. Speaker, fix him now, road lo CBD. Give that 100 days target. You may fix him. Only CBD lo whole world where him got a pothole and everything, him now Honiara, CBD. Please now. Prime Minister, give 100 days for the restoration, maintenance, however you wanted to call it, rehabilitation, whatever, polishing or whatever, road law, so that we can have a center that we can be proud of. A center that all of us can say that, yes, center blood jola, I blood jola, apple, emotion, that we will all be proud of. Emotion. So I come to the issue of the February 1 Blue Mayor 1 Constituency Development Fund. Me RM that I've heard that February Blue Mayor 1 CDF. The moment CDF come no me Aaron Wesley by back up to him here come out. Yeah. Let me come to that CDF. Say I'm sorry that, I don't like some, level of conversation going here. You may attack him too much now at the public offices. Section 137 of the Constitution and give him the right of removal to the Public Service Commission. And no need for consulting anyone too. Minus I too, why even put him lo act here? That the Public Service Commission in consultation with who here? Auditor General or who? Accountant General or someone in Member of Parliament. In fact, that is contrary to the Constitution. Section 137 of the Constitution, you know that Minister of Finance, you Prime Minister Seleva, and you normally recommend him not allow you to interfere one time, process of law, Public Service Commission. That commission is independent. Subsection 4, I think, yes. But we don't come and bust them up here in this house. No. You may weigh him a little bit. But to talk about you. Me feel sorry about public offices. Even if right process him, Lord, you complain to the minister. Write a letter in a nice way. That's our public service. That's the culture of our public service. And give him that integrity to all of us to respect each other. But I'm a bit worried about that particular clause or section inside the law act here. Because possibly that is why we have open, we thought that, it is an open thing for him say something about them, but in fact, there is a caveat in the Constitution here that has given that process here to the Commission itself without interference from anyone. So let's give a little bit of respect to them. That's on RCD. But say, let me put it this way. Let's give RCD an opportunity for constituencies to really grow out of it. Not only in terms of receiving the supplies and the distribution where they come, but to grow their own little economy, or even grow their own business entity. Because constituencies cannot remain just like this here. They will have to grow up strong as an entity, so that there is a succession plan can be developed inside as you move forward into the future on procurement, on recruitment and all of that. Emotion. Looking go private supply or different people, not constituency. Say my submission is this. Let's come back. If the Act is silent on it, naturally the constituency office is a preferred supplier job. Put him responsibility and go back along with the constituency office. They will become a preferred supplier. No wonder why some company you may establish him lo constituency him go deregister longo dissolution lo parliament. Then reactivate back more go deregister. No, it shouldn't be like that. Let's designate our constituency office as preferred suppliers. So that the economy, what is it? Entity where handling the resources that comes inside, the dynamics of how they deal with the business and both domestic and internationally, it's their responsibility. If other preferred suppliers can grow, why can't constituency development offices cannot grow too? We should learn from whatever, but we cannot have other third parties for controlling me. I think that's the point. That is the point. So say, I'm asking the government, you government, Minister of Law, Rural Development, look at this and designate him all other constituency office. You are a preferred supplier. It is your role to go and identify who will be your next Minosai too. Sub-preferred supplier or agent or procurement, whatever, that's up to you. You go and do it. If we have to change the law, amend the law, or sharpen him lawyer for him, protect him that, let's do it. I'm prepared to take it here as private members' bill. But we need to give that responsibility back to the constituency office. We need to give it to them. So those are only the 2 points that we mention about constituency development offices. Respect them, officers in there, that integrity. And secondly, the integrity of the office itself to be a preferred supplier. To be a preferred supplier. Because you cannot just have them as an agent for go and distribute. So if you're going to do that, there are no. What seems to me SD column, locus welfare no more. What go to distribute no more. This kind of or layman blomival SD. Other churches, you have a better organization that deal with it, but they have not SD. So that's what I used to know before. But 12 months front yana by sabe no what na you should 12 na go to every time or something else. But 12 na sabe. That's my take on the RSDF, and I wanna urge the government, to find a better way for him for deal one time this particular issue. So, by me finish now because I'm going for lunchtime. I'm over lunchtime finish now. Yeah, but I just want to say this to you that I'm looking forward to the to participate in this 12th Parliament, and I can see the world of experience, inside here. Very young, talented, energetic, very highly qualified first timers. We have only have one 7-termer member of Northeast Church. I think there is no 6-termer. I think member for Central Guadalcanal, I think, or Yeah. And we have two fala, 5th term alo here, member Blongo au Kilangalanga and East Malaita, lo in charge lo here. And it's just so privileged, you know, that Central Honora constituency brought me back here to serve my 4th term. It is to me, this is a continuation of the public service. That's how I see it, Emerson. Public service is just continue, Emerson. So after, you know, being out for 8 years or 9 years, I'm back again in this chamber. And I look forward to working with all of us. Central Honiara will be more keen, you know, to be better organized this time, to be the real central region of our country. I think at a certain point in time, we should think about enacting the capital territory of Solomon Islands too, because the biggest population belong to the whole country is in Central Honiara now. More than 100,000. It should become a territory of its own. This should be something that we should be thinking about. It's an option that, you know, we must seriously look at, because, you know, we have to put the whole autonomy of managing such an important urban and regional geography of Loyomia into a better place for Imeruan. Better economy, health services, you know, workplace and so forth. So, today, me I'm Minister of Finance and talk a little bit. Let me just say something about, little bit on the public service. For too long, we forgot our public service. Let's rebalance the budget, redistributing other resources and about him now, public officers. You know, in a struggling economy, one thing that you must not hold them down is consumption spending. You must make it for him continue, for him happen. Consumer spending. Because as you know too, as Minister of Finance know, it is the most efficient way for you retaining back now, tax. Out of income and even the spending of that income. But it is good for the economy too. So please, prioritizing that one of first 100 days below it. No go beyond double digit. Some people suggesting double digit. No. Don't go beyond that. Come to somewhere between the core inflation number and the projected growth. I think we will have the right balance to give it to our public officers. They deserve it. It's not a special making law policy, this one. It should be a mechanical thing, no more. Law fiscal policy, no more, for you me for doing. That's my last bit, no more law, that one. But to all of you, thank you so much for this opportunity. And me should open one time this one year to the custodian of this land. I pay my respect, both past, present, and future, because it is with them and their permission that we meet in this house. So, with that, I resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable MP, for Central Honor. With those comments, I will now suspend Parliament and we'll resume at 2 o'clock this afternoon.